In October, Dr. Fauci was blasted following reports that the NIH funded experiments on beagles. Now, Congresswoman Nancy Mace is calling out Dr. Fauci for apparent NIH-funded animal abuse on monkeys. According to Mace, there are over 3,500 monkeys currently living on Morgan Island, and up to 600 each year are removed for use in cruel taxpayer-funded experiments by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Here's what she told The Hill's editor-at-large, Steve Clemens.
Monkey Island is an island off of Morgan Island, off the coast of my district in South Carolina. We thought it was more of a retirement community for monkeys that had been part of lab experiments. Well, what we found out a few weeks ago is they're taking 500 or 600 monkeys a year and then putting them into labs. Just disgusting and barbaric scientific lab testing with these monkeys and killing them, and it's disgusting. And so we just found out about this. Dr. Fauci still has not responded to my letter about beagle puppies. And so now we just found this out, and I will be going down to Monkey Island in a few weeks.
Okay, I'm going to depart from Garden Talk to share with you Morgan Island, South Carolina. This island is near Beaufort, South Carolina, and it's full of monkeys. So, there's two stories to how the monkeys came here. In 1979, the United States government put 1,400 monkeys on this island, and now they've expanded to about 4,000 plus. According to Wikipedia, the monkeys carried viruses, and they were starting to spread to the local population in Puerto Rico. So South Carolina offered this island for the monkeys to reside there so they could research these monkeys and the virus. Another conspiracy theory is that the United States wanted these monkeys to run tests on, and that India stopped exporting these monkeys, so the United States imported these monkeys to raise on this island so that they could continue their testing. So who knows what the truth is, but we decided to take our boat down here. You're not allowed to enter the island, it's illegal, so we stayed off the island and stayed on our boat and filmed the monkeys from our boat. But here are the monkeys living on Morgan Island, South Carolina, as filmed from my boat with my iPhone. Pretty interesting stuff.
Low tide in the low country of South Carolina. And this morning we're on board a 20-foot cuddy cutting through the calm waters of St. Helena Sound.
This is Crusoe Island over here.
Our boat,
there he is,
flanked by dolphins and egrets.
We may end up on that side.
But on this morning, our guide Kevin, his girlfriend Julie, and their dog Busy Girl are helping us search for something much more elusive.
Most people don't even know about it. They think it's a joke.
Morgan Island is steeped in mystery.
Sometimes they like to watch us.
And from a distance appears to be deserted. But if you journey closer through the unmarked waterways, you'll hear the rumble in the jungle.
They're on the bank. I see them.
And see the peering eyes of primates.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Within moments of our arrival, we are greeted by hundreds of rhesus monkeys. Fathers, mothers, teenagers, and babies who call this island home.
They think we're coming to feed them.
I love it. I love to just come out here and anchor and watch the family structure of the monkeys.
Look at that one. He's a little wider than the rest of them. That's kind of unique.
One thing is certain, the monkeys on Morgan Island are just as curious about us as we are about them. We're about 15 feet offshore here. Get too close and they'll let you know this is their island.
The monkeys and the signs warn us that we are not welcome. Beyond the teenage monkey business and the protective parents is a quiet secret. These tattooed primates are being bred for lab testing, and no one wants to talk about it. In fact, when their caretakers see us, we hear them tell the driver to speed by us and not slow down. As the workers from Charles River Labs arrive at the dock, they quickly head on shore to avoid our camera. Lab workers feed, treat, and trap the younger monkeys for research. Hundreds each year are taken by barge to the mainland.
They put the cages on top of them.
Then shipped to research facilities across the country. The colony of monkeys is owned by the National Institutes of Health. The NIH would not talk on camera, but did release this statement saying the monkeys are given care in accordance with federal laws, regulations, and policies. No research is conducted on the island. In nearby Yemassee, South Carolina, we discovered more monkeys being raised for research. This is a company called Alpha Genesis that 5 years ago lost the federal contract to care for the monkeys on Morgan Island. As we quickly discovered, primate research is a sensitive business.
Sir, this is private property on the other side of the street, sir. Sir, but will you please stop videotaping this, sir?
No, I have a right to do that.
Thank you, sir.
Back on Morgan Island, the tattooed monkeys are still teeming on the shoreline.
We anchor out here for hours and watch them.
They aren't native to this area. In fact, they aren't native to this country.
We're getting a little close.
They were shipped here from Puerto Rico in 1979 to test the oral polio vaccine. Since then, they have flourished. Nearly 4,000, the largest colony of free-ranging primates in the U.S.
See, every time we come out here, there's a lot of babies, so they're thriving.
Used to research bioterrorism agents and find cures for deadly and debilitating illnesses such as AIDS.
My mom had cancer, and I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if they're being used for that or not, but hopefully they're being used to help humans.
As we head home, it's clear Monkey Island is no urban legend.
Well, sometimes you have to pull out a picture to prove it to some people.
But it's still shrouded in secrecy.
He came out here for 2 years before he ever saw the first monkey.
33 years after this deserted island came alive.
And there's people that have been here all their lives and have never yet to see a monkey.
Near Morgan Island. Dave Wagner, News Channel 36.
Lawmaker is trying to draw attention to an island in Beaufort County where thousands of monkeys roam free before many of them are used for medical research. Lisa Wiseman took a trip alongside Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who claims the research is barbaric.
I mean, it looks like a great sanctuary for habitat for wildlife.
About a 15-minute boat ride off the coast of Ladies Island sits Morgan Island.
Within the thick wooded area, monkeys, a colony of about 3,500 of them according to the federal government, which uses the colony as a source for federal laboratories. Each year, the government works with up to 600 of them for research.
Some of the examples that we've been able to find out about where they're injecting the rhesus monkeys with MERS, with Ebola, with tuberculosis, for example. You can read some of the other articles too that are out there. I can't look at the pictures because they're so gruesome.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace calls the experiments done on the monkeys barbaric. She invited reporters along with her on a boat ride to the island. We didn't see any monkeys during our trip, but this is what a rhesus monkey looks like. There's no public access to the island because it's owned by the State Department of Natural Resources. Erin Weeks is with their Marine Resources Division.
Since the colony was created there in 1979, the federal government has had a third-party contractor who is the caretaker to the colony.
So the state leases a portion of the island to a federal contractor. Right now, that's Charles River. The monkeys are used by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which is a part of the National Institutes of Health for public health research. Charles River is a pharmaceutical company. They have a location right here in Charleston in West Ashley. They have a lab there where they work with horseshoe crabs, collecting their blood for medical purposes before returning them to the water, as they say on their website, unharmed. They do not work with monkeys there. When I asked for an interview about Morgan Island, I was sent this statement reading, quote, Charles River is contracted by the National Institutes of Health, and our work on Morgan Island is limited to the care and oversight of the colony there. Across our organization, we are committed to upholding the highest standards of welfare for the animals entrusted to our care.
The animals there's no research conducted on the island, but the animals are used for public health research. And honestly, that's all I know. I mean, that's all I can say. We usually direct folks to the feds if they've got more specific questions.
So I asked the NIAID for comment on the Congresswoman's allegations. In an email message, they told me in part that the research helps develop life-saving prevention measures and treatments for diseases affecting public health. Congresswoman Mace says those tests are largely unnecessary with advances in technology.
The FDA has said these kinds of experiments are unnecessary, and the percentage is probably 80 or 85% in the data that I've read, that when you do these kind of animal experiments and then transfer it to humans, there's really not much of a correlation.
In Beaufort County, Lisa Wiseman, Live 5 News.
Morgan Island, also known as Monkey Island, has for years intrigued people of the Low Country, likely because no one is allowed to step foot on the island. The land is home to 3,500 rhesus monkeys. Taxpayer watchdog group White Coat Waste Project submitted a Freedom of Information Act request to find out more about what happens there and to the monkeys. They discovered 600 are removed from the island each year for experiments funded by tax dollars. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
And millions of dollars are spent on experiments, some of the most cruel and painful experiments in the entire federal government, where these monkeys are injected with diseases like Ebola and experience neurological disorders, hemorrhaging, pain, and no pain relief is provided, and either they die in the experiments or they're killed afterwards.
Now, White Coat Waste is teaming up with Congresswoman Nancy Mace to get answers from Dr. Anthony Fauci and try to put a stop to the testing.
People in the Low Country, this is in our backyard, and this is not a partisan issue. It's not Republican or Democrat. Folks in the Low Country don't want to see this happening.